So we've had Season 2 a couple of days now, and I've played a fair bit of it. What I thought I could do with this video is just go about what I think has worked well with the patch and what I think could use a little bit of tweaking in the future. And the only way I can describe the changes to the weapons in the map is that it feels like I've been relearning the game over the last few days just because there's been that many changes. And I did actually make a thread about it on the subreddit, and it seems to be pretty positively received, and I'm kind of glad that it's not just me that feels like I'm relearning the game. It just feels a lot more smooth, more customization options for your weapons like the energy mags and things like that. But things like the shotguns have got a little bit of a nerf because obviously they were a bit more Rambo because you could just carry around a huge amount of ammo and it would only take up one slot. And the map changes are really nice as well. I'm really glad that bridges got destroyed because every time someone would ping they want to land there, I would slowly die inside. Although the cage that's replaced it is very confusing if you've never been there before. It's genuinely massive and you can have a really good fight in there as well because there's a lot of different tiered variations of height. But as always, opinions are subject to change. I might find out something's sleeper OP in the next few weeks, but at the moment it's looking pretty positive. One thing that I do want to mention though is that the challenges that you get, like weekly and daily, some of them can feel a little bit specific. And just as an example, I've got one right now that is my daily challenge where I need to do a finisher in Repulsor. And if it was just do a finisher, it wouldn't be too bad because I could kind of just not really think about it and just do it at some point. And with it being locked to Repulsor, it's just a bit unfortunate because I don't really like doing finishers at all anyway because it's more likely that you're just going to get shot in the back while you do it. And in most team fights, if you kill the enemy team, they're fully dead anyway, so you can't even do it. And then you'll have other ones which say something along the lines of kill 3 people in water treatment, and what that will do is just promote people running off to where they need to, fulfill the task. I don't really have a problem with any of the challenges, it's just the very specific ones that I have an issue with. If they could just make it even a little bit harder, just make it like get 10 kills overall or 20 kills, I wouldn't even be that bothered if it's a daily challenge. But with it being the first few days / week of the challenges, I'm sure we'll get, a little bit of feedback to them and they'll most likely make the changes they feel that are necessary. But do let me know what you think of the challenges, because obviously this is just my personal preference that I don't like to do finishers at all. You might have a completely different opinion. But the last thing that I want to talk about with the new season is actually related to ranked. And I've played maybe, I don't know, about 50 games of ranked so far, and the only thing I really have an issue with is the level requirement that they've set for it. I get why they set it to 10, because they just want, people to be able to access it and enjoy it, and I completely get that. The only thing I think is a bit unfair is the game knowledge you would have at level 10 is very minimum. At level 10 I didn't really have a great understanding of this game. However, I don't want it to be the complete opposite extreme where it's like level 100 because that's quite a lot of hours to put into a game just to be able to access the ranked mode. Plus if you introduce a high amount of hours required to enter the ranked mode, you'll get what League of Legends had for many years where people just buy accounts to access the ranked mode. However, I think maybe level 30, 40, just so they have, I don't know, maybe 20 hours or so on the game, because once you have a basic understanding, it's a lot easier to play. It's just, when you're level 10, personally, I wouldn't have had a clue what to do and what was best practice and how to engage and all the rest of it. And from my own personal experience in the last few days, I've had a few people that were like level 17, 25, 30, kind of on the low end, but getting there. And it was just like they were really slow to pick stuff up, they were really slow to kind of join the fights and things like that. And it's not their fault because they haven't played it that much, but it's also frustrating for people who have, because I like to drop, grab stuff and run. I don't like hanging around. Unless of course it's like near the end of the game and you're just trying to, work out where the other teams are. But the only thing I can do really is boil it down to, I think there should be an increase in level cap to access ranked. I think at the moment it's not very fair for both the people who are a higher level and also the people who are joining at level 10. Granted, they are only going to be given access to the bronze levels, which is the lowest levels, but I still think it would be good for people up to, I don't know, let's just arbitrarily say level 30, to be learning the game, the mechanics, what they like to use in terms of weapons, and best practices, things like that. Although again, I do understand that this is the first season of ranked, so it might just be that they need more information, and that's why they've set the level cap so low. But that's all I really wanted to cover in this video. Let me know how you think Season 2 is currently doing, and if you're playing ranked, let me know how you're enjoying it. But other than that, I will see you for the next video.